Everyone. So, one of the big questions is Stu. What's going on with Stu, right? Is Stu really back for the upcoming Scream 7? A lot of people really think that he is. I know that they announced that he's back as Stu Macher, that Matthew Lillard is back as Stu Macher. I've said this before. Don't get your hopes up that he's full-fledged back in return. If he was the only one, then sure, right? Like, I'd be like, okay, it's a really good sign. Right, that was what I was worried about in the beginning. But since then, we know Roman's back, Billy's back, talks about Jill being back, Dewey's back, right? Like all of these characters that had died in the previous films are all now magically back, right? Which, what's more likely, that Stu is alive and back, or that he's just another one of those characters that are going to be in Ghostface's deep fakes or, AI voice changer or whatever, right? I think it's that. I think it's more likely that Stu is just another character in that, which is part of the problem as to why I think they shouldn't have announced that. You have a huge faction and a huge group of people that really want Stu Macher back, that really are expecting Stu Macher back. And I talked about this before, right? Shortly after we got the announcement of Stu, because just so many people were like, he's back. Oh my God, right? Like losing their minds, which I understand the excitement. I understand people like this is what they've been waiting for. This is what they've been hoping for. That every film, you have this huge faction of people that are like, Stu's back. Yay, right? But we've also heard that he's not going to be back, that it's going to be in the AI form just like everything else, right? Like that's what all these characters are going to be. Now, if you're somebody that wants to hold out hope, that's fine. But I also don't want to see a bunch of people that are very disappointed, which is why I didn't want, which is a big reason why I felt they should have kept that quiet. They should have kept that low key, because you have now this expectation that is being garnered by fans because they believe and are expecting Stu Macher to now be in this film because they got the announcement that Stu Macher was in this film. Problem is that the announcement didn't say that he's coming back as Stu Macher and is going to be playing this big significant role. He could be in it for a scene. It could be in it. It could be a flashback. It could be a million things outside of Stu Macher returning, actually being back. But because you don't have that clarification, now you have this huge fan base that wants and is expecting Stu to return. They're going to go into those movies, and if he's not back to the level in which that they want, believe, and expect, now they're upset. Now they're disappointed. Now they're bothered. Now they feel like, oh, this movie sucks. And even if the movie doesn't suck, they still feel that way because they not all of their beliefs and expectations have just been deflated, right? Where if you keep that low key and you just kind of have like, hey, you could have even have had like, I would have rather it be leaked that it's just the AI or whatever, but you should have just kept that stuff under wraps, period, right? They made like public actual announcements that these guys are back. This wasn't like like a leak came out and somebody just spilt the beans and it's like, man, like now everyone, no, like this was like from them, like Deadline and all this stuff, like making actual reports and articles and these actors like going on their little campaign tours and being quoted and stuff, right? Like it's just very different because again, now you have these expectations from people that you wouldn't have had if that never gets announced, right? Because now those people are coming in and they're seeing Stu and they're like, okay, like for example, there's talks about like, oh, there may be this like deep fake kind of thing, right? With Stu. Okay, cool. Right. If that was to happen with pre-news, then, or without the news, I should say, then you would have that emotional roller coaster throughout the film, right? Because Stu fans are going to be like, oh my God, he's back. I can't believe it. There he is. He's talking to Sid, blah, 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 blah. oh wait, but no, is it just a voice changer? Is it just what, right? Like, and you have now that roller coaster of emotions and feelings and expressions and whatnot, and you're trying to deduce like what is really going on here and all that stuff. Now you've kind of taken it away and you've put it to a position where it has to be one of two things. Either A, he's alive, or B, he's not. And either way, that's probably going to go bad now. Where if you didn't know about it and you just kind of got Stu in it, it's like, oh, that's really cool. That was a cool moment. You know, Stu fans are kind of like giving up hope or holding out hope. Well, maybe Scream 8 is the day, right? Like, but it's just like you announce Matthew Lillard returning, you announce Stu returning. There's all these people that are just running wild with this, and the expectations are high, and there's all this stuff. And if you don't do it now, I've gotten like, I don't even know how many comments from people that are just like, you know, like if Stu isn't in this is a huge waste, huge opportunity, blown opportunity, right? Like, you know, and look, I even said myself, I think if you were ever going to bring Stu back, which I am not a fan of bringing Stu back, but if you were ever going to bring him back, this is probably the best time to do it. This is probably the best opportunity to bring Stu back. I just don't think they're going to do that personally. Could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I think that he's going to end up staying dead, and it's going to likely be, you know, this deep fake AI, whatever, right? Like, that is what I think is probably going to happen. But again, you kind of ruined what could have been a surprise or an eventful moment, right? You kind of took away from people's experience by announcing this. And not just with Stu, like with Roman and Jill and Billy and all these other characters, Dewey, right? Like, you took away the experience. But the reason I really want to talk about and hit on Stu is because he's the one that, like, everyone knows, like, Dewey's dead, right? Like Stu has been the one that people always try to justify and argue why and how he survived, right? That's why I really wanted to hit on Stu. Like, I don't think anyone has the expectations that Roman is alive, or Jill is back and she's alive, or Billy, or Dewey, or any of these others. But Stu is the guy that they, you know, that large fan base believe is alive. And you just ruined the potential experience for them. I think it's something that they should have kept quiet on. That's just me. But as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know yours down in the comments below. Do you agree with me? I think, yeah, it's something that they should have kept under wraps, should have kept low key. Even if they announced everyone else, Stu is the one that they should not have announced, in my opinion. That's the only one I think that they should have kept quiet on. But that's just me. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.